Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? On Monday, a lot of us woke up to the news that as the NFL's legal tampering period was set to begin, the New Orleans Saints worked out a deal with the New England Patriots to bring Davon Godchaux home to the Saints. And I think this is a really good move. And not just because it's a former LSU player. I think this checks just about every box that you could possibly want to check for New Orleans, considering, you know, the state of the roster, the salary cap, everything. So, let's go through it here. Godchaux is 30 years old. He's entering his 9th NFL season, so he's played 8 years. He's played in 120 games over his 8 seasons. And each of the last 4 years in New England as a starter, he's played in all 17 games. Last 4 years, has not missed a single game with the New England Patriots. And he's made 67 starts of the 68 games he's played in New England. So he has been durable. What did Mike D always say the best ability is? Availability. And Davon Godchaux has been available. Okay? That's one. Number two, if you're from here and you remember Godchaux as a prep athlete at Plaquemine, I'll never forget this because it was such an unorthodox situation, but Godchaux was a defensive end at Plaquemine, and his senior year of high school tore his ACL. Comes to LSU as a freshman, coming off a torn ACL where he played defensive end, and they moved him inside to play defensive tackle. That was the 2014 season where they were very thin on the interior. In 2014, the most experienced defensive tackle they had was a true sophomore in Christian Lockature. They were thin and inexperienced. And Godchaux stepped in as a true freshman, changing positions, and played pretty well. And then, as we know, he became a very good interior player, ultimately went and got drafted by the Dolphins in 2017. And after spending, he was a 5th-round pick. After spending 4 seasons in Miami, he goes to New England, where he spent the last 4 seasons and has been a very good player. But what's notable about Godchaux is he ain't looking nothing like the dude that signed with LSU back in 2014. Davon Godchaux right now is 6'3", 330. Dude is, my guy ain't missed many meals. The buffet line, they see him coming and they running high. 330. And I'm not throwing shade, but he has moved to be an interior zero technique nose. And remember, this is the other thing that I like about this a lot. Not only has he been durable, but with Brandon Staley coming in after the Saints have run effectively a 4-3 for as long as Dennis Allen's been here, really for as long as Sean Payton was there. Brandon Staley is more of a 3-4 base. So you got to have the zero technique nose, which you don't have. Like, Brian Brzee might be able to play that. Probably could. But I don't know that that's a highest and best use of Brian Brzee's ability. Colin Saunders, who's 28 years old, Nathan Shepard, who's 31 years old, are on the roster. Monday later, we found the Saints extended Nathan Shepard. He was set to count $7 million against the cap this year. So we'll see the terms of that deal when it comes out, but in giving him a contract extension, it probably gives you a little cap relief here in 2025, but it shows Shepard will be back. We'll see about Colin Saunders, what they do there. But this is a guy that fits truly a skill set that fits what you're trying to do defensively with Brandon Staley. So you get a durable guy who fits what you're looking to do. He's a 2-down lineman. He's not a third down lineman. He's a 2-down run-stuffing lineman. Remember, the New Orleans Saints were the 2nd worst run defense in the NFL in 2024, allowing 141 yards a game. So you were the 2nd worst run defense in the league, and you added a big 330-pound run-stuffing defensive tackle who has been a durable player during his 8 years in the NFL. Check, check, check. Also, he's affordable. And this is something that we have to consider with every roster move that the New Orleans Saints make because of their cap situation. The Saints traded a 7th-round pick for Davon Godchaux. And it's not just a 7th-round pick. It's a 2026 7th-round pick. So not even in this year's draft. It's next year's 7. So who knows what you may do with respect to compensatory picks or whatever between now and next year's draft to where you can make up that draft capital. You can even make other trades to make up that draft capital. Point being, giving up a 7, which usually is a flyer on a guy anyway, for a guy that's been a notable starter, a durable starter, a run stuffer in a position that you don't currently have filled on your roster because of what your new defensive coordinator would like to do. Check, 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 check. And then the last thing, but it's worth noting, is that it's a cool story because he's from here. Like that, you don't lead with that. Like you don't go do a deal for Davon Godchaux because he played at Plaquemine and at LSU. The fact that he is from here is just a cool anecdote that I think adds a little more emotion to this. And I'm good with it. You know, Godchaux's a guy that, again, played at Plaquemine, played collegiately at LSU, and now he's going to play for the Saints. And actually, Godchaux tweeted earlier today, if you missed it, home is where the heart is, excited to be coming home and playing for the great state of Louisiana, a dream come true to play in high school ball, college ball, now the NFL in the same state. So ready for this opportunity to play in front of the Houdat Nation. God makes no mistake. Let's go, with a bunch of Fleur-de-lis emojis. And then pretty cool graphic as well that they posted for Godchaux in the Saints uniform. I love it. He's fired up for it. There's a fan component of this where you're going to get some juice out of it. I like it. And look, I mean, we've joked for a long time about the Saints and their lack of interest in LSU players, but it's proving not to be the case, man. Tyrann Mathieu, Jarvis Landry, Foster Moreau. Last year they brought Clyde Edwards-Helaire in midseason. They just re-signed him as well, and now Davon Godchaux. I love it, man. It checks so many boxes. I don't necessarily have a negative thing to say about this. And we can look at Godchaux's contract, which in 2025, he'll carry a $5 million cap hit. And in 2026, that number is $7.5 million. But very likely, the Saints are going to do what they always do. They're going to restructure this deal to get a lower cap hit this year and next, and then kick money into future years. It's just how the Saints go about doing business. So you're going to add, he'll probably end up, I'm guessing here, I'm speculating, I don't know this, but my guess is they'll restructure this contract and ultimately have him this year on a veteran minimum salary against the cap, kicking money into future years. So it's going to be affordable this year. You only had to give up a 7 to get a starting caliber, a future 7 to give up a starting caliber player who's been durable, who's a run stuffer, who plays a position in a defense that you need to add into this roster, a veteran guy who's from the state of Louisiana, who's excited to come home. Like, there's a lot of things about this that make a lot of sense. And I'll give the Saints front office credit. Give them a hat tip. I think that this was a very prudent move for a good player in a position of need. I think it checks every box, and I'm pretty excited for it, man. So congrats. Davon Godchaux coming home out of Louisiana. He'll play for the New Orleans Saints, which is an awesome thing. By the way, here was Bill Belichick. This was back in 2021. This is Bill Belichick in 2021 talking about Davon Godchaux.
Yeah, but Davon's been a really good player for us. He's shown a lot of versatility in playing on the center, on the guard in a 2 or 3 technique, and then out on the offensive tackle in a 4 or 5 technique. His pass rush, I think, has really improved this year. His transition, being able to play the run, and then when it's a play-action pass, the transition from a run technique to a pass technique, plays, has a lot of strength, a lot of toughness, runs well, has good quickness. And again, it's a very instinctive player. He understands blocking schemes and blocking patterns and does a real good job. Yeah, he's been a great addition. Glad we have him.
That's Bill Belichick. And that's the greatest coach of all time, lauding Davon Godchaux. I mean, it's good. Now, that was 2021. This was 4 years ago. That was December of 20. So about three and a half years ago. But still, a good addition for the New Orleans Saints here with Davon Godchaux joining up with the Saints after a trade on Monday morning. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.